You can quote me on this. I love AZ. He's in my top 5 or 6, depending upon what day it is. If I need a verse, the opening verse on the song of all time is either I'm going to see him or Prodigy. Some people say that if AZ had the machine behind him like Nas had, he would be as successful. Do you agree with that? First off, my question is also, why do people always, who don't consider Nas to be the GOAT, always make him the barometer? Because if AZ had the machine, he would be Jay-Z too, right? Secondly, my thing with that is I can't understand it because Sugar Hill, I'm pretty sure, sold more than that. So in essence, his first debut album was more successful, right? So how is that Nas's issue that he didn't have a machine behind him? Like, I don't understand that line of thinking. And this is it. We're going to have this discussion because I'm glad I have people in the room who are like-minded, right? Brick said it as well. I believe, and you can quote me on this, I love AZ. He's in my top 5 or 6, depending upon what day it is. If I need a verse, the opening verse on the song of all time is either I'm going to see him or Prodigy. An opening verse, because I know the opening line is going to be prolific, it's going to be epic, it's going to be memorable. But I think AZ's problem was this, like you said it, he wasn't versatile enough, he didn't have the range, and that's why Nas never did an album with him. Because if you look at the songs they've done, the majority of them, outside of Sirius, right? You have the Flyest, the Essence, and How You Living. Same subject matter. It's the same song. They just styling on us. It's creative. You got More Money, More Murder. That's an outlier. We're talking about complete songs and they both spitting for the most part. It's the same subject matter. And that's why I feel as though that album never happened. So this whole notion that Nas was scared to do an album with AZ because he'd out-rap him. No, it would be monotonous. It would be the same songs throughout the whole joint because AZ has never given us a conceptual record when you really think about it. He's given us lines that they pierce your heart. Like, that's his gift. Those one-liners or opening lines or setting the tone. Everybody can't do that. But I feel as though that's the reason why that album never happened, because Nas understood AZ's limitations, and the album would never be, because remember, when you're dealing with those two high-profile artists, people are not going to just take it as art. They're looking for a hip-hop thriller, and it wouldn't have happened. Am I bugging? What we got here? I love AZ, but he is more one-dimensional. Nas is more versatile, but rhyming alongside each other, Nas brings out AZ's A game. Yes, and that's not a slight to AZ, because rhyming with Nas is not an easy thing. You have to be there. You know what I'm saying? You got to be there. You have to lock and step, because he'll get you out of there. But I think that's why the album never happened. This is an interesting point too. I prefer AZ to Jay-Z. Listen, AZ, listen, a lot of cats probably won't admit to it, but early AZ, 95 AZ, that's a different animal, man. Hold up. AZ kills songs with Nas. He's just not as versatile. Yes, and I think that's the issue. And we're in tune. We're listeners. We know what's going on. It doesn't make him a bad artist. He's AZ. How many artists were able to remain independent this long and drop a sequel album 2 decades later, and we all tapped in? Whether you liked it or not, you listened to it. That's a different type of skill level. And he was rhyming like he was a young man.
Hey, yo, E.